to new business item, and that's approve appointment of members to serve on a citizen oversight committee for Measure ER. And I do know that a member of the public did bring up a possible issue, which is the way this is worded. And so I'm not sure if the name of the committee that needs to have the name of the bond in it. I'm assuming that's true. And if so, this has to be reworded. Mr. Rojas?
Somebody could just make a motion to amend the title.
Okay.
And just amend the item.
So what would the motion be, Mr. Rojas?
Approve the appointment of the members to serve on the Consolidated Citizens Bonds Oversight Committee for Measures A, EE, and ER.
Can I have somebody please move that motion?
So moved.
It's been moved. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll go straight to a vote. Ms. Castillo?
Excuse me, we're not voting on it yet, right?
Just
So,
We're a little confused.
Yeah, we are.
So no, so yes. So
Wait,
let's take
yes,
a step
what?
back. Let's take a step back.
Okay.
The motion was made with the correct title, even though it wasn't listed here as with the correct title.
So it's not a motion to approve?
It is a motion to approve.
Correction of the title or the agenda, or the item itself?
It was for
It's approved as stated.
Hang on, Mr. Lara.
it's a motion to approve the bond to appoint members of the oversight committee for ER, EE, and AA.
But that's not what it reads.
Correct.
So don't we need a motion to amend?
Okay, I get what you're
language?
saying. Okay. So let's amend the language on the agenda, and then we'll vote on the actual member. Thank you, Dr. Merino.
Okay.
Let's try this one more time.
So it would be
Mr.
approve
Rojas?
the appointment of members to serve on the Consolidated Citizens Bond Oversight Committee for Measures A, EE, and ER.
Okay, so this is a motion, so,
This motion is just to make that change. Then
Correct.
after that change is
so
voted
the
on,
motion is to make a change on the title, to the item of the agenda.
right, to the name
Read.
only, to read what we just said.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. Are we good here?
So we're voting on the.
We're good.
We're just
On the name
changing the
change.
title.
On the language, correct. All right, good.
It's just
Ms. Castillo,
find that, yes.
Ms. Ibarra,
Yes.
Dr. Merino?
No?
Yes.
Yes, and yes. That's 4-1 to change the name of the title on the agenda.
Now there's a need a motion.
Now we need a
to make
motion
the
to approve
appointments.
this item.
So moved.
It's been moved. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve item 14A1 as amended.
As amended.
Discussion? I'm assuming Dr. Merino?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I'm requesting to table this item for the following reasons. I submitted some questions earlier, but I don't believe the process was followed. There were 10 applications, as was reported. The applications were evaluated by the superintendent and the CBO, by the interim superintendent, correct? By Mr. Aguilera Ford and the CBO. Thank
Yeah.
you. Who interviewed the applicants? No interviews were conducted. Applicants were screened in their application in the criteria they qualified for. Why were not all applicants notified, as we heard from in public comments, if they qualified or would be invited to interview or not? The recommendation is going to the board tonight to notify all applicants. Once the CBOC is approved, we can inform all applicants. I asked for information of the name of the bona fide taxpayer organization for Mr. Murga. No answer to that. I asked for the information for the business organization of Mr. Martinez, and I have construction project management. And, of course, the parent, Ms. Miller, is from Ochoa Academy. Now, I personally know of 3 individuals that applied. I don't know if I should mention names, but I have to say one of them was George Merino, my husband. He didn't receive, and he turned the application to this district office. And I know of two other former CBOC members, and we all know who they are. And I don't mind you. I know you don't mind me mentioning Esther Mejia and Dr. Rivera. So, in my opinion, this is an abuse of power or position. So I'm asking. We have to have a CBOC. I know that, especially because we have the audit coming. I'm asking to table it until we follow a clean, transparent process. Any applicants will receive notice. Thank you for applying, for wanting to volunteer your time. However, we are going through the interview process. It's something. So that's my recommendation. I need to have a second on that to table it.
So a motion's been moved and seconded to table this item. Do we have any discussion?
Yeah, I have a question.
Mr. Orozco?
First of all, is it a conflict of interest to have your husband on the CBOC? I'm just asking
We're
because I
not
don't know.
discussing that right now.
Just asking. And then, what was the process before? Like, how did you get on the CBOC?
Is that a question to me, Mr. Orozco?
No, I'm asking Mr.
Oh,
Reyes.
okay.
Or Dr. Roy. What's usually the process?
So generally, the process. Well, first of all, it's hard to get one. Most districts struggle to find enough people to apply because not only do you need people to apply, but they have to fulfill certain categories. So the process is generally you request applications, and for the most part, you'll get enough people to fill the spaces. The issue that so what you do is you get the applications, but you might have like one parent, and you might have like 3 taxpayers, or you might, so it doesn't just come in nice, neat orders, or people have multiple things. So on our first kind of review, we went through and we looked at it, and we had some ideas on trying to find a balance. But what we ended up doing was, as we kind of talked to legal counsel and talked to LACO and just kind of looked at it, what we found was that the issues that are being brought up regarding the bond and HPLE go back to 2016. So when we couldn't find issues going back to 2000, so for example, if we would have had a CBOC letter saying in February of 2016, hey, we have concerns that HPLE is committing fraud, and then we would say, wow, like that oversight committee was tracking, and we didn't find any of that. So what we wanted to do was have no ties to anything that happened in which the FICMAT audit or any of the concerns are being raised. So that's why everyone on here is brand new, because what we want to do is, going forward, we want to make sure that nobody can say, it's actually, the weird thing was, like, we were worried that if we did put people that were on before, they would say, oh, the reason why those people are on is because they want to cover up what was, so you know what I mean? Like, if the issues are, if the problem was there was fraud happening or issues happening in 2016, then the people that were sitting on that CBOC missed it, or didn't see it, or didn't report it. And so what we thought was, you put people who weren't on it, who can look at all of this stuff with a fresh set of eyes, and they can go through and call and look at those types of things. And so that was kind of the rationale for just, you know what, let's just have a new slate of people moving forward. And that's really what it came down to.
Thank you, Mr. Rojas. What I would like to do at this time is move on let's have a vote on the substitute motion, and then we'll continue debate on the main motion. Because we do have a substitute motion that's been properly moved and seconded.
To table, right?
So the motion is to table right now. So any discussion on just tabling?
Just table.
No. So no discussion on tabling. We'll go straight to vote on tabling. Do you move? The motion is to table?
Yes.
Ms. Castillo? Yes. Ms. Ibarra?
No.
No. Dr. Merino?
Yes.
Mr. Orozco?
No.
And I vote no as well. So the motion to table has failed. And now we'll go to the main motion, which is to approve this item. Do we have any further discussion?
Yes. Dr. Rojas, are you implying that the former CBOC members did not do their due diligence? You were not here. You're new. You've been here 5 months. I have to say that it was the former CBOC members who started raising concerns and raising awareness as to what was happening with the use of the bond monies. It was thanks to those members that were here time after time and asking for meetings, and then they were disbanded and they applied once again, and so we got some of them back on the bond committee. So for you to state that you wanted a clean slate because the bond committee members, former, had missed some of this misappropriation or some of this questionable activities, it's incorrect. I want to say thanks to the CBOC members that we are where we are, that we no longer have PLE, and that we are the LACO's coming in to do the
Audit, yeah.
the audit. Okay. Now let me tell you about the process. And Mr. Aguilera Ford probably he should have had the process because I believe some BOC members were elected, but as the former CBOC member, and Ms. Castillo can attest to that, applications were submitted, and yes, there were interviews. Okay, so the fact that there were no interviews, this is a unilateral decision that was made, and this is wrong. That's not how the district works and should not work, and I hope we don't go down that path because we're already seeing that happening already. So I'm saying this is wrong, and I would like for you to clarify that because it is the former CBOC members did not miss anything. They were the ones who continue to raise issues, and this is one of the reasons why they were disbanded the first time and the second time, and now they apply for the third time, and they were not even considered for an interview. This is wrong. It's wrong. Board members, you are all wrong, the three of you. I'm sorry.
Dr. Merino.
Thank you. Thank
Dr.
you.
Merino.
I'm done.
Thank you. Dr. Merino, thank you for your comments. I also want to comment. I think it's unfair to criticize folks for saying there's conflict of interest and bringing in your friends when people's husbands applied to be on this committee.
I checked.
Excuse me,
It's not
it's not your
illegal.
turn. It is not your
no
turn.
conflict. I
It's
checked.
not your turn. Yes, there's a difference between illegal. We've covered this before, right? All right. So I just want to make sure. I just want to say.
What
excuse
about
me,
Ms.
excuse
What
me,
about
excuse me,
Jennifer
Excuse me,
Prado?
excuse me, Dr. Medino.
No, I'm very
you have
upset.
the
This
chance.
is wrong.
You had a chance to speak. Now
I
it's my turn to
did,
speak.
but now
Okay,
you're
so
trying to
please-
dismiss what I've
please
said. I'm sorry.
Please remain professional.
Okay, I will remain professional.
Thank you. Okay.
But
Thank you.
do your-
so
do the
I just
right
want to
thing.
say, I just want to say that it's unfair. Okay.
of course, it's
So,
unfair.
Yes,
Former
absolutely.
CBOC members were not invited
Merino?
to the interview. And I fault Dr. Rojas, and I fault our former superintendent.
Right. And so, Dr. Merino, you do understand that you're contradicting yourself. You're contradicting yourself.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
And if I am, I am wrong. I'm not
And
perfect.
you are saying that hey, people are bringing a friend, and you
No, I did
your
it.
friends have been applying.
No.
Your friends have been
They're-
doing this as well, Dr. Merino. So
They're not. No.
So listen.
No.
So that's
no.
why.
I
that's why-
purposely.
That's why you lose credibility,
No,
Dr. Medina.
I don't. No,
That's
no.
exactly why.
I have credibility on this
Okay.
board.
I
think
Trust
we
me.
need a- I think we
Thank
need
you
a
very
call.
much.
I have no.
Thank you
I
very
have
much. We'll
credibility
call a
here.
vote. We'll call a vote. That's fine. We'll go straight to vote. Ms. Castillo,
No.
Ms. Ibarra,
Yes.
Dr. Merino,
No.
Mr. Orozco,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Motion passes 3-2.